a lot of people on yesterday's primed shred thing said put it on the Opticor, it will be amazing. And I did say I wanted to put it on here. I've kind of gone in and, as I've mentioned before, my build for the Opticor is seriously out of date. I should build it more for crit. I have it purely set up for puncture. I have Firestorm in here, which increases the blast radius on the AoE part of it, not the actual beam. Heavy caliber. Not sure why that's in here, but it explains so much as to why the accuracy on this was messed with so badly. What I didn't realise is I already had shred in here with speed trigger, so putting this in here is just a case of swapping the mod. You would almost think that I purposely left it like this just to put primed shred in, and the rest of the footage of this will be from having this actually in. The punch through wasn't really that noticeable, taking it from 2.2 with the normal one in there to 3.1. I did not expect. I mean, the punch through went from 1.2 from the normal shred to 2.2 with the prime shred in there, so it did exactly that. It added 1.0 to the punch through. It's not really that noticeable past a certain point. I'm not sure at what point it can shoot through the walls. Unlike the Zenith, which people keep telling me time and time again, it has infinite punch through. The Riven I have on there is a waste of time. It shouldn't be on there. It's on there to increase its damage and the punch through on its primary fire, not its secondary fire. I do know it's supposed to have infinite punch through on its alternate fire. It's solely there for its primary attack. This 3.2 punch through does... I've looked into it and I can't find at one part what actual number punch through is classed as being infinite, but at 3.2 it is ridiculously high. But it was the charge speed going from 1.05 with the normal shred, which had a 30% fire rate, to the prime shred with the 55% fire rate. And of course speed trigger was already on this. If I was to take them off completely, the actual charge rate of this is supposed to be 2. And in these two mods, the speed trigger and prime shred, did take it down to 0.93. I'm kind of concentrating this solely on the fire rate and the punch through that it added to it, because as I have said before, the build I have is aimed solely on the puncture part of it. It may have 17,361 puncture, but to be fair, it's weaker than it once was. It can be made so much stronger by ditching something like, well, piercing hit and firestorm and putting in crit based mods will actually increase the damage that it does, because you can increase the damage multiplier and the actual crit chance with, and I'm trying to remember what's it called, Vital Sense adds 120% crit damage, which should take it to, and I've got to remember this, I think it was a 5.5 times multiplier. And for the crit chance, Point Strike I think it was. The problem, the only real problem with that solely comes down to the fact of actually fitting it takes it to 50% crit chance from 20, which is actually pretty high. I do have a crit build on this which includes Argon Scope and Bladed Rounds, but I'm not using that with any charge mode or fire rate at all, because it's over the normal thing I have on it. I prefer the increased attack speed or the increased charge rate than adding the corrosive to it and just throwing the elemental stuff in there. Weirdly though, even though it fires slower, this kind of did a little bit more damage than running it with primed shred and speed trigger on. And the only reason I'm kind of doing this instead of just announcing the winners of the giveaway was simply because so many people said that I should actually try this on the Opticor that I thought, well, I may as well. What's the worst thing that can happen? And to be fair, I did notice a huge difference adding the primed shred in over the normal shred, which is the whole point of having primed mods. They are a huge improvement over the standard versions, but fitting shred, you do have to sacrifice something to fit them in there to begin with. So it depends what build you're running as to if you can even fit this into other weapons. On the Opticor, it did make a huge difference. That charge rate was just so much faster. But moving on to the actual winners of the giveaway, I'll just put them on the screen here. These are the PC winners. These are the Xbox One winners. And these are the PC... I nearly said PC again. I technically did. These are the PlayStation 4 winners. Of course, as usual, the codes have been sent to the YouTube message inbox system, so congratulations to those people. We'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.